Recording in progress.
So I was saying, so I'm starting with this vector AB, right? AB, my starting point is A, going towards B. That's what the vector AB means, right? It should really have these arrows on top of it to show you that I'm starting from the point A, going towards the point B. Then I said, I'm going to do BC. So starting from B, going towards C. So A, B, A to B, BC, B to C is the same as going from A to C. So this right here, this is the road with all the traffic, and then A, B, and B, C are my back streets, right? So I could either go along this path to get to this point right here, or I could take the back roads, AB and BC, and I will still end up at this point. Everybody understands that?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss. That actually makes sense now.
Okay. Well, that's great. Oh, did not mean to do that. So sorry. Right. Note, since we want AC, we are starting at A and ending at C. So whenever you're adding vectors, this whole addition of vectors thing, see that first letter, because I want AC, your first letter, your starting point must be A, because that's what this vector has as the starting point. And then the ending point must be C, because that's this, right? Starting must be A, because this vector starts at A. Ending must be C, because this vector ends at C. And note the red part, the first vector AB ends at B, so the second vector BC must start at B. Just like what we are doing, right? So A, B, my first vector ends at B, so then the second vector must start at B. So this is my first vector in pink, my second vector is in green. So I'm starting the second vector from the end of this first vector right here. So the second vector is B going towards C. And then let me show you what I mean about this whole thing in blue. So I said this is my resultant vector, right? AC, I'm starting at A and I am ending at C. And that is why your starting point must be A and then you must end with C. Okay? Do you understand that? Oh, looks amazing. Do you understand that? Need me to explain it again?
I understand.
Okay. Okay, so let's do another example. If they ask me to find CG, the vector CG, right? So they asked me to find this vector CG. Like I said, you're really supposed to have the arrows up here, right? But when typing, I can't put them in. So just know, these are what the arrows look like. This arrow on top tells me I'm going from C to G. Here it tells me I'm going from E to G, C to D, P to E, right? So I have to they want me to find CG, right? So you have to rearrange these vectors right here to get it in a form that's, suitable, okay? So CG, how exactly am I going to get CG? There's so many things on the screen. Why is somebody trying to join us? Me. I'm not gonna let that person in. Clear all. Right. So to get vector CG, I need to rearrange these vectors, right? So what vector would I start with? Well, I told you from this example, AC, the vector AC means that I'm starting from A going towards C. I'm starting at A. My starting point is A. And therefore, I must start with the letter A. Same thing here. Vector CG. This implies that I'm starting at the point C going towards G. Starting at C means that I must choose a vector here that also starts with C. In this case, it's CD. Let me just say this is CD. Starting point is C, ending is D. How do we go from here now? Well, remember the first vector, in this case up here, the first vector ended at B, so we needed to start the next vector at B. In this case, the first vector ends at D, so the second vector must start at D. So that's my first vector there. So therefore, my second vector has to start from D and then go to whatever point. In this case, it's E. But we don't stop there, right? In this example, I had two vectors. But in this one, we're not done because we don't want CE, we want CG. Okay, so we already did this, CD, DE. Now we starting at E, going towards G. So let me just say it looks like this. This doesn't guarantee how it looks. This is just a little sketch, right? So going from E to G. And then if I want CG now, I connect these two. Oh, let me use a different color. One. Right. So instead of going, passing on this white road here, let's say I know the back roads. So I could pass along CD, then DE, then EG, and I would still end up at my destination. Do you understand that? Yes? No?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Good. Great. Fantastic. Let's practice this now. Yay. All right. That's what happens with these things. I have to clear it off. Clear. Right. Subtraction of vectors. No. Suppose there are two vectors again. We're sticking with the AB. A and B. How do we find A minus B? So before it was A plus B, now it's A minus B. Well, notice A minus B is the same as saying A plus minus B, because a plus and a minus is going to give me a minus, right? So saying A plus minus B is the same as saying A minus B. So to sketch this vector, simply switch the direction of the arrow for vector B, so you get minus B. So remember when we are doing scalar multiplication, let me go back. When we're doing scalar multiplication, I said when there's a negative sign, the direction of the arrowhead changes, right? So in this case, it was pointing this way, but because it's -2 and because it's -a, the direction of the arrowhead changes, right? It's the opposite direction. So now keeping that in mind, if I have a vector B, but I don't want B, I want minus B, all I need to do, remember, magnitude, it's still really B, right? The only thing that would change here is the direction of the arrowhead. So B, if B is this, then minus B would be this. My arrowhead pointing this way would now point in the opposite direction. Do you understand that? Yes.
Yeah,
No.
miss, that's straightforward.
Yes, miss, I understand.
Okay. So then you do the same thing you were doing just now. Remember tip to tail, or you might see head to tail. Same thing. So I start off with A. So starting at the point A, I put my vector A. Then starting from here, I put my vector minus B. From from starting point to end point, you get A minus B. Very straightforward. I'm moving on, right? Let's practice. Yay. Given point A has a position vector 2, 3, and point B has a position vector 1, 5. They want you to find the vector AB. Can you attempt that, please? Shouldn't take too long. And I need to go to the white board. It's so bright. Okay. So they want me to find AB, vector AB. Remember the R is really supposed to be on top here. I just couldn't type it out. So starting at A, going to B. What information did they give me though? Well, they gave me the position vector OA, and they told me that the column vector for this is 2, 3. And they also gave me the position vector OB. And they said that the column vector for this one is 1, 5. We know if we want to find AB, that's something to do with addition or subtraction of vectors, right? We know that for sure. But there's a problem, because if I'm trying to find vector AB, that means that the first vector must start with the letter A, because my starting point is at A. And then the last vector needs to end with B, because my end point is B. Yes, I have one that ends with B here, but this one, it does not start with A, it starts with O. So what do you do in this case? Well, it's very simple. Instead of putting OA, I'm going to put AO. Plus, remember whatever I end with at this vector. So let me say I'm going from A to O. Or whatever point I end, that's where the new vector is starting, right? So this new vector must start at O and go to whatever. In this case, it's starting at O and going to B. So vector AB is the same as saying AO plus OB. Just like this diagram. AO plus OB is the same as saying AB. Do you understand that?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Can I have one more person answering me? Actually, me. Okay. So I'm using this, right? So that just required a little manipulation. Instead of putting OA, I put AO. Right. So we continue on now. AB is therefore AO is actually the same as saying minus OA. And you might be wondering, but how? Let me show you. So let's say this, all right, this is, let me put this as A. A. So this point here is A, and that point here is O. So if I were to sketch this vector OA, this implies I'm starting from O going towards A. So the direction of my arrowhead would be this way, going from O 2a. But if I gave you the vector AO instead, all that means is I'm switching the direction of the arrowhead. Just like what I was showing you with the vector B. All I did was switch the direction of the arrowhead. It's the same thing you're doing here. So this point is still A, this point is O. But instead of going from O to A, I want to go from A to O. So the direction head changes. And that is why I can say AO is the same as say minus OA. Do you understand that? I need to take it slow. You understand that?
Excuse me, miss.
Yeah.
So basically, the stuff in purple, wouldn't that be AO is equal to minus OA?
One. This?
Yeah, miss. You have AB.
No, we're trying to find vector AB.
Yeah.
So that's AO plus OB.
So what's the problem then?
They gave me OA, not AO.
Oh, I see, miss. My bad.
Yeah. And I'm saying that AO is the same as saying negative OA. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
miss.
Okay. And my I could just leave this let me think. And then I just leave plus OB because they actually gave me information for OB. There's no need for me to manipulate that in any way. I don't need to say negative BO. No, I don't need to do anything with this because they gave me that information. But they did not give me this information. They did not tell me the column vector for AO. They told me the column vector for OA. So I needed to figure out how is AO related to OA, you know, so I could use the values, well, the information that they gave me. So AO is the same as saying negative OA. From there, I just substitute all the information that they told me. So O, A, B, we said that's negative OA. So that's negative. The column vector for OA is 2, 3. So that's 2, 3. Did I press record? Yes, I did. And then OB, they told me it's 1. But nope, do not. It's not a fraction, it's a vector. Right. So if I multiply this column vector here, 2, 3 by minus 1, it would become minus 2, minus 3. Oh, minus 3 plus 1, 5. And how you add vectors, all you're doing is just adding the components, right? So the negative 2 and the 1, though, they are my x components. So I'll say negative 2 plus 1, which is minus 1. And then negative 3 plus 5 would give me positive 2. So this right here, this is the column vector for the vector AB, minus 1, 2. Do you understand that? You don't? No, you're not dumb. Everybody understands that? Yes. Can I have one more person answering me, please?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Please, if you don't understand, let me know. Let me know. I will do it again. I will.
Yes, Miss. Can you please do it again, please?
Which part?
Is everything, Miss?
Everything. Okay.
Yes, Miss. Please.
Okay. So they want me to find the vector A, B. And the arrow would go this way, meaning I'm starting from A going towards B. Do you understand that?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Well, what other information did they give me? Well, they told me a position vector, OA. So this means I'm starting from the origin, going towards the point A. And they told me that the column vector for this one is 2, 3. Do you understand that?
Yes.
That's very sus. That yes, didn't sound very sure. And then position vector OB, starting from the origin, going towards the point B. This would be, what was it? 1, 5.
1, 5.
Correct. Vector addition. Because I am starting this vector AB, the vector AB is starting at the point A. So when I'm adding my vectors, the first vector also needs to start with at the point A. Do you understand that?
Yes. Yes, miss.
Okay.
But I don't
But then-
understand why is it -2 plus 1. I don't understand why.
Oh, so that was the other part. Let me go back. Hold on. This will take a while. But it's just nice to have an undo button. Look at that. All right. This part here, -2 plus 1 to give
Yes,
you
miss.
-1.
Yeah, why
Yep.
is it minus then? Yeah,
Why is it 1?
minus the AB, the blue part. Why? Why is it minus? Is a
Because
rules or something?
AO is the same as negative OA. OA is 2, 3. So if I'm
Reverse.
finding negative, OA is -2, 3.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
Alright.
yeah, it didn't sound too sure. You don't understand this part up here is, or it's this part down here.
I understand the bottom part, but I don't I don't know. Why is it minus? The purple part, yeah, minus OA. Why is it minus? Negative or whatever.
Because when I'm doing the vector AB, I must start at A. Because this is starting at A, my first vector must start at A, right? You understand that?
Yes, miss.
So it's AO plus OB. That would give me the AB. You understand that?
Oh, yes, miss.
Right.
If
But there's a
negative, no, if mine negative OA, wait, no, what should I say? Wait, never mind, continue. I was trying to say if it BO, it would be minus, right?
BO. If BO would be minus.
Yes, miss. Never mind, forgot about it, miss. I don't know what to explain.
Okay. So let me continue and then you let me know what's confusing you. So AB, I want AB, starting from A going to B. Therefore, my first vector must start at A. Why? Because this vector is starting at A, right? So that's why I said AO. Because the end point of this vector is O, then the starting point of the other vector must also be O. So it's AO plus OB, right? Starting at A, ending at B is going to give me the AB. Let me just draw that. So let's say this is A. Okay, I'm not redrawing that. That's A, that's O. And then we're going from AO to OB. This thing is playing. From O to a point B. So that's A to O, then O to B. And that's going to give me the A, B, right? That's what this is representing here. A, B, which is the road, let's say main road, is the same as taking the back street AO and OB. You're going to end up at the same position right here. But they did not give me information for AO. They gave me information for OA. They said OA is 2, 3. So what I was saying is that AO is the same as saying negative OA. Because look at this, right? Oh, I did not need to do that. Okay. So in this diagram, my AO, the arrowhead is pointing this way, right? So let's just say that's up. Going from O to A. That arrowhead shows that I'm going from A to O. But what would the vector OA look like? Let's say it's still like this, right? OA implies that I'm going from O to A. So in that case, my arrowhead would no longer be facing up like that. It would be coming down like this. And just like the example when I showed you with the vector B and all that, when we're doing subtraction of vectors, this was the initial direction for B. And then we said minus B, same length, but has the opposite direction. The arrowhead isn't pointing in the opposite direction. Because these are the same length, but the arrowheads are different. Just like this one, when I said B and minus B, I could say AO is the same as saying minus OA. Is that clearer or no? I think it was Troy talking to me. Troy, is that okay?
Yes, miss.
Oh gosh, that's so unsure. Oh my. If you have any questions after, you could always ask me, right? Okay.
Miss, I'm fine, miss.
Okay. I really hope so. So it's a similar thing you're doing for this part B now. Find me the vector AC. But in this case, they gave you a vector BC to help you find this vector. Let me know chances. I really don't know. Yeah, anyways, AC is going to be equal to AB. Remember, I must start with A. And because this vector ends at B, my other vector must start with B. So BC. AC, the letter at the beginning is A, the letter at the end, like the final letter is C. So this is what we're working with, right? They didn't tell me AB. We found AB just now. And the position vector for AB is -1, 2. So that's -1, 2 plus BC, they told us is 2, 3.
I'll miss the time.
Oh, rejoin. Thank you.